my Greenberg studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and welcome to Up Late with Sam Bass. Tonight's guest is Ryan Jones Sr. from Raw Mind Sports. Some people may know him as Primetime. Not the same guy. Primetime in Rocky Mount, not Colorado. This guy does it all. He's got his own podcast. He's working on a documentary. Lots more to talk about. He'll be joining us shortly. First, I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Allegra Printing of Rocky Mount. Fine folks. They provided us with this one-of-a-kind backdrop. So we're tickled with them, love them to death. They're doing a great job. Thank you, Allegra. Speaking of one-of-a-kind, we've got a little bit of excitement going on here on the Wesleyan campus. From now through January 24th, which, by the way, is my daughter Emily's birthday, for the first time ever in the state of North Carolina, there's a Bob Ross exhibit. You remember Bob Ross? It's going to be right here at Dunn Center. He's the guy that said, there's nothing wrong with having a tree as a friend. I've got a lot of friends that are trees, maybe not. And one of my favorite quotes, by the way, is, we don't make mistakes, we have happy little accidents. That's me, folks. I'm a happy little accident, or possibly an accident looking a place to happen. So this is a very busy time of the year for me. In addition to all the lunch and learns and power breakfasts and ribbon cuttings, I've really been to a lot of events lately already. The Chamber had a fantastic oyster roast, had a good time out there, big crowd, over 500 people. The Beans and Brews, that's something I went to recently. It supports Meals on Wheels, a great organization, good time out there. Plus, Wednesday night at Sam Shack, that's an event all by itself, trust me. It's a good time over there too. So now, before you know it, the holidays will be here, which means I'm going to be even busier than I am now, which is unbelievable, but I will be. More gifts to buy, more parties to attend, more bourbon to drink. Also, I got to squeeze into my elf tights and my elf costume. The tights are the hard part, but I'll make it work. But I think a lot of people remember me for the video I made for the Chamber when I was doing Buddy the Elf, more than anything else I've done. But I will say here lately, I've been getting recognized a lot. A lot of people, some that know me, some that think I kind of know, they look kind of familiar, some that I have no idea who they are. They've been coming up and saying how much they like the show. And so let me take a minute to thank all of my fans out there. I appreciate you watching. Tell all your friends about this, by the way. I even hear there's a drinking game. Every time I point my finger, I get told I point a lot. So I just want to say about that, cheers. As I mentioned, our guest tonight is Ryan Jones Sr. from Raw Mind Sports. So we'll definitely be discussing sports tonight and some sports terminology. Remember that. But since it's me talking here, we do things a little differently on this show. We're not your same old place here. We're going to do the top 5 dirtiest sounding sports terms. Okay? They're actually very innocent, folks. Very innocent. They just sound dirty. So you probably heard them before, maybe you haven't. But we're just going to see how it goes. Hope we don't get canceled on this. So here goes. This is my top 5 dirtiest sports terminologies. Make sure the kids are in bed, okay? Or get them up, either one, I don't care. Here we go. Number 5, naked rear choke. Relax, Grandma. This is just a chokehold used in the MMA. That's applied to the opponent's back. It's kind of like a sleeper hold, I guess, in wrestling. And you don't have to be naked to do the move. It's all about whether or not you're wearing a training uniform, whatever that is. But get your minds out of the gutter. Number 4, sticky wicket. This is actually not a thing, like I know y'all are thinking, but a term used to describe a difficult circumstance in a cricket game. The cricket is in Rocky Mount now. It's a bad pitch, something like that. Shame on you. Number 3, pole position. Again, not a thing. It's a racing term. It just means that the driver has qualified for the number 1 starting position. I remember there was a joke going around about a certain driver, I won't say his name, being on the pole position a lot. It was Jeff Gordon. Number 2, tight end. I know what you're thinking here. This is just a position. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't sound very good. Not much better. It's a position in football, tight end, between the offensive lineman and the wide receiver. I used to be a tight end at high school. I was number 81. It was number 1 in your hearts, number 81 in the program back at Saratoga Central High School back in the day. Tight end. I started off being a tight end, ended up being a wide receiver. That's a long story. And the number 1 dirtiest sounding term, sports term, is backdoor slider. I know that sounds dirty. This is just a baseball term used to describe a pitch used to trick the hitter. It's kind of like a curveball, you know? You throw the ball on there and it slides around the plate. It's just designed to trick the hitter and make him strike out. That's it, number 5. What is wrong with you people? And why do I feel like I need to take a shower now? We'll be right back with Ryan Jones Sr. of Raw Mind Sports right after the break. Stay tuned.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm sitting here with the battle-scarred, prime-time Ryan Jones Sr. coming off that big 49ers loss. He's hurting. Ryan, I've told you, I don't have a problem with the 49ers. I got a big problem with the Cowboys, though.
We agree.
So I'm an old-time Redskins fan, and they're not called the Redskins, unfortunately. But I don't like Commanders, so I have gone to just anti-Cowboy fan.
Whew. America is great.
You're in the right place. You're in the right place tonight. So I hear people kind of beat up on you a little bit when the 49ers lose. Is that true?
Oh, yes, they beat me down. They take me out. Sam, I tell you, they take me out.
Well, they're one of the best teams in football, regardless of them recently losing. It happens. You know, you can't go undefeated. You're not the 72 Dolphins.
Oh, I agree.
You know,
Respect to them.
They're popping champagne corks every time a team doesn't get undefeated. You know what I mean? Back in 72. So you're originally from Tarboro guy, right?
Correct.
So talk about, you've had some involvement with the community over there. Tell me a little bit about that.
So involvement with the community, I've done a lot of things when it comes to sports volunteer coaching, to being a part of the advisory board for the Tall Parks and Rec, to actually being a part of the community, doing my sports show, my sports podcast, things of that nature. It's been fun, it's still fun, and I'm also doing the show, the Tarboro Coffee Talk. So anything around Tarboro, based around me doing sports and anything in the media world, I'm your guy. Tarboro.
He's a Tarboro fan. Well, they had a guy at a car dealership one time, the Tarboro man, like the Marlboro man. Remember that? Anyway, we're going to get to the coffee talk here in a minute. So you attended a gala in 19.
Correct.
For, they were saluting volunteers and members, things like that. Tell me about that.
So I had a gala in 2019 before COVID, and I would love to keep it going. And possibly now, since COVID is not the mixed thing now. It was saluting volunteer mentors and coaches who go above and beyond without making anything monetarily. So it was a lot of amazing people. It was an impactful event. I loved it. A lot of people loved it. And it was a free event. So we had food. We had people come in, reward. It wasn't nothing, any sponsor. That sponsor pretty much paid for that. But that was it. And I had a lot of guys from not just Tarboro, but from anywhere in the area to actually come.
Right. And you were also involved with the Black Sports Business Symposium through ESPN?
I did, man.
Tell me about that. How was your experience there?
Man, it was amazing because at first I got invited. That's invite only. So they have to look at everything, your resume, what you do to get invited. You just don't get invited. You just don't get a chance to sign up and go. So the very first year was in Atlanta. And by the way, while I'm telling this now, it was a tough, but it also helped me become more disciplined in what I'm doing in life because I had just ruptured my Achilles. And so I'm down there, and it was funny. I was down there with a walking boot, but I couldn't walk as fast as some of the guys I knew, the podcasters guys who in the industry was doing stuff. So like, how we gonna keep up with you? And so I had on a suit, tie, the gray boot. Like, it was hard. And so one of the guys that worked at Atlanta Falcons Stadium said, "No worries, we're gonna push you around." So everybody made that joke. So whenever they saw me, it felt like I was getting so much easier. They're like, how do you get around faster than us? Because I had on the boot. But by the way, while you were saying that, so it was some amazing guys. I met Steve Weich, and believe it or not, I met primetime Deion Sanders there. And he kind of gave me a lot of insight on what I was doing, and he was the what is the word? The head speech person, Raw Thoughts.
Right.
Yeah, so he was able to give a speech, and I met so many people in the industry, and that's why I'm at where I'm at today, because I was able to network and have an opportunity, even have an on-air audition, and it led to me being there with WRL.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute, but let's talk about primetime Deion, because I follow his social media. I love it. Man, the guy's so inspirational.
He is.
And he has done such a great job. I mean, you know, Colorado is not going to win the national championship, but everybody's got their eyes on them.
I agree, and it's the ability of like marketing and your brand. You know, Deion Sanders knows his brand, he knows his niche, and just being real right now on the Sam Bass Show. If Deion Sanders walks in your house right now and you're eating dinner, he said, "I want you as a player," you probably gonna tell your son or child, "Deion wants you, you're going."
Right.
I don't have to say nothing else.
Right now. Because I think he really has the best interests of these young people
He
in
does.
mind. So moving on a little bit, so Tarboro is obviously very near and dear to your heart.
It is.
So people don't realize it, some people don't, most people in the area do. Tarboro has a dynasty in their football team over there.
Yes, they do. It's been like that for years since. Coach Craddock coached me his first year was in 2004, 2005, won the conference. But things, as what he says himself, he always says that, you know, after 2-3 years, they were ready to run him out.
Mm-hmm.
But they couldn't because he had some guys that came to him in Food Line and said, "Don't you worry, Coach Jeff Craddock, the boys is coming." He like, "The boys?" And ever since then, since 2008, they have been in the Eastern Conference Finals, state championship won or state championship lost. And we're in 2023 right now.
So you're working on a Tarboro football documentary, correct?
I am, man.
Tell me about that.
It's amazing. Like, everybody always, for the past 2 years, people always say, "Ryan, you need to make a documentary. Ryan, you need to make a documentary." I said to myself, I was like, it's a little work into that, but I'll make it happen. So recently I have made it happen, and Coach Craddock, me and him have been working one-on-one with it, and the coaches of the Tarboro High Vikings staff. And believe it or not, one of the reasons why I'm making it is because, like, every person in the country has their own story about their particular small town. But I figure, like, with Tarboro, no matter if it's 1A, 2A, 3A, by the way, for people in the viewers who don't know, that's because people, it's about enrollment. It's not about how good the team is. You can have really good players at 1A, 2A, 3A, or 4A, but the enrollment of the team and the school dictates where you're going to be at. So that being said, Sam, when I was doing this, I was like, man, it's amazing. It's a great story. It probably will motivate other people in the country to do the same story and kind of use it for their liking as well. And also with small towns and stuff, I felt like maybe resources would be able to help and give people opportunity. It's a lot of kids in the world who have just needs an opportunity. And I feel like Tarboro hasn't had a chance, although we have multiple players who went to the NFL, but not in a way where it needs to be exposed more by looking at the United States and the teams in the country.
Right. So Todd Gurley being probably the biggest name to come out of Tarboro.
I agree. Now, back in the 80s, since you say you was a Commanders fan, you know, my cousin / a guy named Kelvin Bryant
Oh, yeah.
was there. Yeah.
I played against Kelvin Bryant.
Oh,
That's
you
how
did?
old I am. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It was like trying to tackle a truck. I'm serious.
Yeah, Todd Gurley is definitely the best one. The guy I went with to school with was my main man, still to this day, Sean Drone. He played for Kansas City majority of his year and the San Francisco 49ers.
So I'm going to change gears a little bit here. We're going to talk about your Raw Mind Sports podcast, okay? So when did you start it?
I started in 2018. It all started because me and my wife, now my wife, Iris Jones, was at my mom's house for Thanksgiving, and she literally asked me, like, what you want to do with your life? Do you have anything in common that you want to be consistent with in your life? And I said, I just want to be great. I want to be a great father. I want to be a great husband one day at the time. I want to be a great human being in the world. And what
That sounds like Dion.
Right.
This is the other prime time, by the way.
So when we said that, so me and my best friend to this day, we was at the table, Thanksgiving, everybody was fussing. We was debating sports. And out of nowhere, she said, ha, that's it. You always love sports. You may ain't coaching sports. This is what it is. You need to create a podcast like Debating Sports, Talking Sports. So I had multiple friends. Shout out to my guy, TJ Harrell, Eric Whitehead, and Jamel Arrington. Jamel Arrington played at Westland for years and had a scoring title. I want to say, I might be right or wrong, but I want to give false information. Them guys started with me. They believed in me, and they allowed me to like use them. And at first, people are like, what is Prime Time doing? Why must he just create a podcast of random guys debating sports? So it started with them. And we would do it at my mom's house at the time. And once we did it at my mom's house, it started getting leverage legs. Mm-hmm. And it all started because she was like, you need to debate with him. She said, I feel like that's your natural gift. So with that, Sean Drone, I did an interview with him at Carolina, and he always told me we was playing sports. He said, man, Ryan, you always debate sports, even we was playing sports, you know. And I had a coach, shout out to LaShawn Jenkins, he pretty much, he's a great teacher in life, and no matter what you're doing with your basketball, football, politics, whatever, mm-hmm. he's gonna push into you and pour into you the way it is and pull the best version of yourself out of you.
So for the record, he points like I do when he talks. So take a drink when he points too, right? So you said are you recording it in the studio now?
So for me, now it's pretty much in my man cave. What I do is edit, do everything myself at home. So we have a lot of equipment. We had equipment, and it's what people say in life. A lot of people who from the outside say I got lucky because I had a wife who graduated in media production for the University of Carolina. And even though she doesn't use it for her niche and her major, she has other things. She's a literacy coach with the Edgecombe, so she's very smart in that field. She wants to be a thought leader. So she pushed it into me, and it was like a great way to use it for her. So I'm using it for my studio. I have everything in my house, from speakers, lights, camera, all that good stuff. I have been in the studio. I've been in the wig here, and then once I got COVID hit, things like that, it kind of changed my direction. I had to be forced to do things a certain way. And so I got all the equipment and stuff, editing, tools, all myself. Pretty much the one-stop shop.
I've seen it. It's really good stuff. So
thank you.
Let's talk about the coffee. We mentioned it earlier, the Coffee Talk Show. Tarboro Coffee House.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Tarboro Coffee House, they have a new owner, and I call him Rev Randy because he's a reverend. He has a lot of titles, and he saw me, and we used to talk for a year. Mm-hmm. I used to come there every Friday, and we'll talk about life, anything that's going on in life, and me and him got to know each other. He's originally, before he came out, he was in Buffalo, New York. He loves the Denver Broncos. Ooh, I always say Randy, good luck. Right.
They're having a bad year.
Yeah, they are. They get ready for the draft. Top 5 picks.
Exactly.
So he said, Ryan, he said, I see your stuff, see your media. Why don't you produce a show, Tarboro Coffee Talk? He said, do things like to help with the coffee talk, bringing in business or keeping business here in Tarboro. Although business is amazing in Rocky Mount, he was saying like the people in Tarboro just need somewhere to go just in case they can't get to Rocky Mount, places like that. I was like, well, yeah. He said, and I said, for myself, becoming a producer, I had to become a producer in a producer mode. It was less of me thinking about me. It was more like thinking about what made sense for his brand, the Tarboro Coffee House. Right. So I try to make sure I'm pushing this show directly to all the people, the customers, the audience he has. And what I do is try to bring in people from downtown Tarboro, owners of downtown Tarboro, politicians or community people who are involved, and bring them down there to have a drink of coffee and kind of speak upon what I say raw thoughts, but it's more like coffee talk for them.
So raw thoughts, raw mind.
Yes, sir.
How'd you come up with that?
Raw thoughts is something, this is going to be very good. Raw thoughts is something I always say, and a lot of people in this day and time say they like the raw thoughts. I'm a type of person, when I say raw thoughts, it's about, like, you know, in professionalism and business, you have to say things a certain way, in a way that makes sense to make sure it doesn't offend anyone.
Right.
Raw thoughts is me getting straight to the point. It's just like you right now drinking that bourbon. I may say, hey, that's the worst stuff in the world. I can say it because it's raw thoughts. You may say, you need to leave me alone. So, and that's me, like, being direct and kind of being very transparent, because people may see, you may give it to them in a nice way, but they may can't understand it, and that's okay. Everybody has their own language, not Spanish or French. Spanish or French, you have to have a way to, like, to be diverse and be able to speak in a way that makes sense. I'm not trying to be disrespectful when I say that, when I say raw thoughts. I'm kind of like giving it to you straight to the point so you can get.
I like that.
Yeah.
Have you met Dave Sharp yet? He's a new chamber.
Dave Short is my man. Dave Short always asking me to go to Highway 55 at lunch. I still owe my lunch date, because every time I see him, we need to have lunch.
I've known him forever. Us three are going to lunch soon.
Definitely. Whew, look at that.
He's invited me to come over to Tarboro to have lunch, so we're going to do that very soon.
Please do.
So let's talk about another thing. You're working kind of with WRAL doing high school sports. Is that correct?
I am.
Tell me about it.
It's amazing. So, like, they asked me one day after they seen on my work, and it was not necessarily like a application. I had to fill out like typical jobs. It's like, man, we like your work. We know you love Tarboro. Do you want to help us out? So from there, I'm working high school sports, doing videos behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and every night, Friday night, WRAL Plus Spectrum stations in Raleigh, I'm on doing post game, whatever game I'm covering, whether it's football, basketball, soccer, whatever. I'm the one who covers all those games. And me and Nick Stevens, shout out Nick Stevens, is a great guy. We have a busy schedule. And it's the best thing that happened to me with WRAL is that I learned a lot of things I didn't actually know. So now, on demand, let's say I'm in Charlotte, game in Charlotte, big game. Has to be in reports, research, all the information. News station show starts at 10. I have to do my part, because if I don't do my part, it's like everybody pulling like a tug of war. If you don't do your part, it can destroy the entire team. So I may have to go sit at McDonald's, Wi-Fi, type up, edit, whatever. Like wherever I'm at, I may not have time to get all the way back to Raleigh by the time the show starts. So I have to have a way to where I can send out information, whatever I have. Or I may have to do, like, in days' time, now we're living in with Zoom, or if I have to call in from where I'm at to be interviewed.
So how do you have time for any other pursuits when you're doing all this?
Ooh, that's a good one. I wasn't expecting that question. I actually like being busy, because if I'm being busy, I'm doing something good. If I'm sitting home idle, I may not be doing anything good other than watching TV. So I like having something to do, because it keeps me from being in so many places for timing purposes. Because some days I could be somewhere at the gym talking, I could be at the gas station. I even told somebody the other day at Food Line, I might as well be the endorser, because I'm always at Food Line for my wife sending me the Food Line, and I end up in there. And I end up in there for her, and even though it should be something simple and quick, like if it's like getting a box of rice, turns out somebody knows me. Hey, Brian, blah, blah, blah. It took you an hour and a half to get back. You sent me there. I'm a extrovert with introvert tendencies, but I'm going to be a person. I'm just not going to turn the conversation down. So she's different.
Well, we got a picture of your family. We're going to put that up. I want to ask you, how long have you been married?
I've been married legally. I just got married in 2022. Right,
not
legally.
Illegal.
No, correct. Legally, 2022. We actually dated in high school, and we dated in high school. It's funny because we dated, and randomly before a basketball game, she said, I don't think this is going to work. And I'm like, huh? What do you mean? So before the basketball game, guess how many points I had, Sam?
23.
0. The next 3 games, coach cussed me out. He pulled a Bobby Knight on me.
You threw a chair at you?
Yeah, he almost did. He was like, you got to get over it. So during that time, we ended up finding our ways. And sometimes life takes you on different paths to get a certain way and to be able to become a better person who you are. Now we're back together. So we started back dating in 2018. Went on a date, went on Valentine's. You know, I told her I said, hey, let's go out to eat on Valentine's. She's like, you want to take me to Valentine's? I'm like, yeah. So I took her to Bonefish Grill. I served her
I
well.
like that place.
Yeah, I did. So with that, it ended up turning out great. And ever since then, we just decided to get married last year to see everything. We have a blended family, but it's amazing.
That's great. Great to hear. So I'm going to change gears a little bit. You're a WWE wrestling fan.
Woo! Let my family members tell you about it. They'll give you stories themselves.
So do you have a favorite wrestler?
So, all right, so back in the day, they used to say when I was little, I used to put the figure 4 on my uncles and his best friends. Then I used to jump off the chair like Macho Man.
Yeah.
And I used to love the NWO.
yeah.
Yeah. Macho Man, I used to do like Hulk Hogan's NWO. I used to like him
Right.
like that, Goldberg. But now, watching it now, although I know it's pure entertainment nowadays, because back then I thought it was
Right.
real. You know, I'm definitely a Roman Reigns. I love Randy Orton. I always loved the Undertaker, the heel Undertaker.
Right.
Yeah, so, it's so much I can talk
So I'm a
about.
big Ric Flair fan.
Woo!
Yeah, that's him. So I'm going to ask you a couple of Barbara Walters style questions. Baba Wawa. Okay, you ready? Ready?
I'm ready. Oh, I'm
Do you
good.
consider pickleball to be a real sport?
I've never been a person to disrespect sports, so yes, I do. It's wrong.
Yes. Right.
Oh my
On
God.
this show, it's wrong.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm a pickleball hater. Okay.
I forgot you are.
Do you have any Super Bowl predictions?
I do for my podcast on week 1 this year. Although I'm probably gonna be wrong, I said because of an injury, I said the 49ers versus the Jets.
I understand the Jets part.
Oh, come on, now, not on the show. Don't do me like
They're
that.
not going to make it because, the main guy got hurt. So I don't know. I thought maybe Buffalo, but they lost this recently.
Oh, yes, they did.
So we will have to see about that going forward. But listen, I really appreciate you being on here, man. This has been a good time, man. You're a great guy. And, we're going to have you back.
Anytime.
Because if I get an opportunity to get prime time, I'm going to get it prime time. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right,
Sam.
Take care. Hey, I want to thank my guests tonight. We had fun. Ryan Sr. was here tonight. So I want to say, Alexa, make sure you remind me to tune in to Up Late with Sam Bass every Thursday night at 10 o'clock right here on WHIG. Our next guest is the elevator man himself, Josh Dobson. He will be here in person. So make sure you tune in. Thanks for watching. See you soon.